I've had brain fog for the about last 7 years, and I'd say I'd only truly gotten rid of it within the last year. But obviously that brain fog kept me stuck in my miserable job way longer than I needed to, feeling tired, only enough energy to doom scroll, play video games, and then eat ice cream. And this only left me more tired with not enough energy to put in the work to get out of this miserable state, which obviously kept me within the cycle and kept me more tired and never being able to do anything. But obviously I did escape that cycle, thus the title of this video. But you're probably thinking, okay, why the hell should I listen to this Chinese man here on the internet? He's probably not credible. Well, I was able to leave this job right here about a year ago, again, which is about when I cleared my brain fog. And this also allowed me to make 103K within that same year solo, which of course did allow me to leave that job. And now I'm able to do whatever the hell I want, make videos on the internet like I am right now. And also, I have a six-pack. So if that's credible enough for you, you can learn how I cleared my brain fog, how you can clear your brain fog to get out of your miserable state, even while you're working a miserable job, because obviously it worked while I was working my miserable job. And this is a business or career that you want. Like, you're not going to be doing the exact same thing as me, how I make my 103K, but you're going to be able to get what is going to make you your 103K. Maybe you'll make more, maybe you'll make less, but you eventually make enough to get you free. And what you just have to understand is that your brain fog does come in two parts, and from clearing it, that is when you can really start to get your freedom. And those two parts are not being able to maintain focus for long, and also not being able to enter deep focus. Not being able to maintain focus is basically physical distraction, which I'll get into the specific solutions. So it's like, oh shit, my back hurts, and then you get pulled out of your focus. Or the second part, deep focus, is your energy and mental performance, literally not being able to think correctly, which then of course you never get the work done. And again, this is only to get started clearing your brain fog, to get started on building skills to get your freedom. The true solution to actually getting rid of your brain fog forever and also turning it into freedom is the 2 to 5 year exit. And this is the long-term solution for being lost in the fog, essentially. So usually the time frame looks like this. Within 5 years, sometimes within 2 is when you get your freedom. And your starting point is here, and there's just fog covering this. In order to really clear that fog, well, first of all, you got to get rid of the physical distraction. You got to get your mental performance good, which I'm going to tell you, and that's gets you started. But then again, you actually have to have what you consider freedom to actually get the freedom, something to actually work on that is both enjoyable and profitable, which will turn profitable within this time frame. So be able to make money within 2 to 5 years once you build up the skills in that time after clearing your brain fog. And then for the rest of your life, continue to make money, which then of course is the freedom. That is the real solution. If you don't know what that is right now, which maybe you don't, or you have something in mind, like some sort of passion, but you don't really know how do you actually turn it into freedom, you can look in the top link in the description of something that might interest you. I personally help people completely for free at this point. If you want some of that, then just take a look at that top link. If not, then let's get into how do you actually get started clearing your brain fog, which of course prevents you from stuck in the cycle of constantly having no energy and being miserable and trying to work, but then just ending your life years and years later, realizing that all you did was distractions. And the first part of that is being able to maintain long focus, which is also getting rid of your physical distraction. So personally for me, when I was working, I always ate bowls of kale, and also within my work, of course, I tried to do a good job. So I spent as little time eating as possible. So I ate my lunch fast as fuck. I barely chewed my kale, and there's some meat in there and stuff too, but I barely chewed it. I just like scoffed it down and went back to work. And I thought this saved me time, which then, of course, if I get my work done faster, I can go home faster. And then by going home faster, I can work on the other stuff faster. But what ended up happening is while I was sitting there, in working, I would just have like tons of gas. I would literally be bloated. My stomach would hurt. I'd be like clenching my cheeks in order to not have enough gas, which then gave me physical discomfort, which made me get up and go to the bathroom all the time. And also like literally distracted when I'm working. Like how are you going to work when you're literally like clenching your cheeks as hard as you can not to gas in the office? So if you're doing something like this, if you have some sort of physical discomfort, really the action here is to be as aware as possible and keep adjusting. So if you notice that like, oh fuck, I have a lot of gas, well, what are you eating? If it's something like, oh, I have back pain, like I mentioned, I personally had back pain and shoulder pain for a while, which again is the physical distraction, which makes you like adjust and breaks your concentration at work, which forces you to take longer, and then you have less time to do other things. So are you sitting too close? What I did notice, honestly, it took me so long to notice this, is like, I can't really see the screen. So I was hunching forward with my upper back, which then actually hurts my lower back. So if I just simply kind of lean back in my chair a little bit, or you adjust the lumbar support, maybe put a little towel behind your lower back, or simply just get up and walk every once in a while, it helped for me. Or honestly, in the gym, you are strengthening your core, so doing some core exercises a bit more gets rid of some of this physical distraction, and therefore being able to concentrate for longer periods of time. And that gets you time for freedom. And your specific problems, it might not be the gas and it might not be the back pain, but it could be like shoulder pain, for example. It's the same exact concept. Be aware of what you're doing and then try to adjust. And from that adjustment, if you get a good result, keep doing it. If you get a bad result, like it gets worse, then of course don't do it. And eventually you can get into the state of long focus, clearing the first part of brain fog. But of course, it doesn't matter how long you can focus, because there was times where my energy and my mental performance was so low, I literally couldn't get done even if I was staring at the screen all day. Within my job, I worked on a lot of PowerPoints. Like for example, I was trying to build out one PowerPoint slide. I was working on it the entire day, changing up some charts, changing the text, and I didn't get it done the entire day. One singular slide. And normally, you can make like probably 20 in a day, honestly, if you have the information ready. So this is because I was working a job where I would get home at like 2 a.m. every single day. And from that, of course, I didn't get enough sleep. So the first part of the energy and mental performance is get enough sleep. And how I did this is literally within my job. I straight up told the person that was kind of managed me at the time that I would sleep 6 hours no matter what. So I will work till 5 a.m. if you want me to. I will sit in the office till the sun comes up the next day. I will pull an all-nighter. But when I am done with the work, I'm going to go to sleep for at least 6 hours. So that if that means me coming in at like 3 o'clock the next day, that's exactly what I'm going to do. And of course, they're probably fine with that. That's pretty reasonable. It's not great, but it allows you to have enough energy to get in at least a little bit of work. And then only eating to the ridge of my plate every single day with fried rice and a gallon of canola oil for 2 years. So this is something like that I did in college, because I thought like, oh yeah, I'll eat really cheap. And the only thing I need is just, I got to get enough calories so I can keep going. In college, I actually did drop shipping, and I also tried to sell some speaker wires. Both of those business completely destroyed. I also tried some trading, and I lost a fuck ton of money. So why is that? It's because what you're eating also gives you brain fog. Like the constant shit tons of carbs, and especially the gallon of canola oil for the calories, is going to give you inflammation. Inflammation in the brain makes it very hard to concentrate, which then you never really get any work done. Like for example, when I was working on my drop shipping, I was always constantly, whenever looking for new products or ways to advertise it or write the copy, I would just be like, oh, how do I get this done really quick, and just post it up there, and then it can do its thing. Well, it's not quality work. If it's not quality work, it's not going to work. And then you never get the freedom. And it's the same thing on all the stuff that I work with within my job. If you're doing low quality work all the time, of course, you're not going to get a promotion. But if you do super quality work, then you get promoted faster, you get money faster. And that money faster can either, of course, advance you in your career faster. You just basically achieve that path of freedom that you want faster if you want a career. If you want a business, well, by currently working your job and making more money within that job gives you more money to then go into a business. So both options are good to perform in your job better, and also ideally have then energy left over to also perform outside of your job with your free time. So the thing that you have to realize here is much shit, no matter how much shit that you produce, actual shitty work, it is still shit. It's still shit. And shit isn't worth anything versus just a little bit of gold. So if you have just a little bit of quality work that you can get done, well, that's still gold. And it's the same thing with honestly getting energy and mental performance. So if you can't get sleep, just a little quality sleep is better than like hours and hours of shit sleep. Or just getting a little bit of quality food is much better than like pounding down a gallon of ice cream for calories, or pounding down a gallon of canola oil like I did back in college. So really, by increasing your awareness as much as possible, and then continuously adjusting, you can clear all your physical distractions, which again, focus long-term, then focusing very much on quality within the sleeping and eating category. And honestly, you can get in a little exercise too. You have the mental and energy performance to focus deep, which clears the two parts of brain fog, which then gets you started on this 2-year path here of freedom. Clear the fog in the beginning, so at least you can get enough energy and focus to think about what are you going to do within that 2 to 5 years to eventually get freedom? So what is that enjoyable and profitable thing that you can start working on? So now the only question left is, how do you use your time and money to effectively utilize that additional performance that you have? That's both being able to focus deep and long. If money is more of the issue, so you don't have enough money to maybe sustain that 2 to 5 years, or you're constantly working a job just to survive, then watch this video right here. If time is more the issue, like you're constantly distracted, then watch this video right here.